In this video tutorial, we will cover how to add, remove, or reorder data in an existing dataset. To begin with, we must have a data box with a dataset. We can either load our dataset from outside of Tetrad or simulate it from a model within Tetrad. For now, we will be using a tabular continuous dataset that we loaded from a file. Later, we will look at operations that can be performed on discrete datasets or on multiple datasets at once. In order to add, remove, or reorder the data in our original dataset, we create another data box as a child of our first. When we open our new data box, we have a number of options for what to do with it. In this tutorial, we will focus on the options in the manipulation of data, row operations, and column operations folders. We can use the calculator to create new variables that are functions of our existing variables. First, we have to give our new variable a name. Now we define our variable. We can use any of the functions available in this drop-down menu alone or in combination. For instance, if we wanted our new variable to be a simple sum of two existing variables, we select the addition operation and enter the variables we want to add in the parentheses. These operations can be nested, so if we want to add, for instance, a Gaussian error term to our variable, we add that operation to the second term in our sum. Simple arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, can also be done using infix notation. If we want to create multiple new variables, we can do so by adding expressions. Let's make this new variable binary. We can do that using the logical operators available in the calculator. This is an if-then-else operator. The first term is a logical statement to evaluate. The second term is the value our new variable takes if the statement is true. The third term is the value the variable takes if the statement is false. So our new variable will be 0 if x3 is negative and 1 if x3 is positive. If we want to create a new variable for each existing variable, we can do so easily using the wildcard character. This expression will take each existing variable and create a new variable, which is twice the original plus some Gaussian noise. When we're done, we click OK, and now we have new variables that conform to our expressions. There is a new variable for each old variable because of our wildcard expression. Our binary variable is made up entirely of zeros and ones. The decimal points mean that Tetrad still considers this variable continuous, but we can easily make it categorical using the discretization tool, which is covered in the transforming data tutorial. Some Tetrad search algorithms run on multiple datasets at once. For those algorithms, we need a data box containing multiple datasets. We can create such a box either by loading multiple datasets using the data loader or by using the merge datasets tool. Here we have three separate continuous datasets. If we input all three of them into the same data box and select Merge Datasets, we'll have a new data box containing all of them. Each of our original datasets is housed in its own tab. We can now run a multiple dataset search algorithm or run a single dataset algorithm on all of these datasets at once. We can also concatenate datasets, combining them all into the same dataset. The process for concatenating data is the same as the process for merging data, but in the end, we receive one dataset consisting of all the cases from the original datasets. Also, unlike merging, Tetrad can only concatenate datasets that have the same variables. We can also perform the reverse operation. Instead of concatenating datasets, we can take a single dataset and split it into several smaller sets using the split by cases operation. We can choose how many datasets we want to split into and what size they should be. We can also choose whether we want our new datasets to retain their original case ordering. You can see we now have three smaller datasets, each housed in its own tab. Now we've learned how to add variables and cases to a dataset, let's look at how to remove them. Here we have a dataset of mixed, continuous, and discrete variables. The copy and remove variables operations allow us to selectively copy variables from one dataset into a new one. For instance, if we click Copy Continuous Variables, we get a new dataset with all of the continuous variables from our original data and none of the discrete variables. Similarly, we can click Copy Discrete Variables and get a new dataset with only the discrete variables from the original data. Our dataset has several columns with only one value, and there are some search algorithms that won't accept constant columns. We can easily remove them by clicking Remove Constant Columns. Finally, there are several operations that we can perform to reorder existing data. By clicking Randomly Reorder Columns, we can change the order of our variables. By clicking Permute Rows, we can change the order of our cases. We can also bootstrap our data. This will create a new dataset by randomly selecting rows with replacement from our original data. Because it's sampled with replacement, the bootstrap dataset can have whatever sample size we want. Let's set it to 500 cases. Thank you for watching this Tetrad video tutorial.